What's up, everybody? Another wonderful Monday night at Chewin the BBQ Fat. Hope y'all are all doing well. It's a great week here for me. It's competition week. I get to cook barbecue. I get to do a competition. It's been forever and a day since I've been able to cook, and I cannot wait. We are getting ready. It's wild here. Robert's already told me everything I need to do. Y'all all know that we're cooking together. Robert and I are cooking together. It's going to be Chewin the BBQ Fat team. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. So y'all come find us, stop by, see us, say hello. Man, it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait. I cannot wait to cook barbecue and cook with friends. We have got teams coming from all over the country showing up, and we're going to have a great time with everybody. Have I practiced? Trey, of course I practice. I practice every night, I feel like. We have baseball practice on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, and I think we practiced again on Sunday. So baseball practice has been going in full force. Oh, if you're talking about barbecue practice, not so much. Stress week for me. Have a lot to get done before Thursday, don't we all, Lincoln? You know, the cool thing is I've only got to do 2 categories. I've got 2 categories to get ready for, and I am getting ready. I got pork and brisket. That's it. That's all I got to do. Robert's got chicken and ribs, and then he's also going to help with the brisket and probably help with the pork too. But it's going to be so much fun. So like I say, we're going to be cooking under Chewin the BBQ Fat. Look for us. Come see us. It's going to be a ball. I do have some bad news I have got to tell everybody. Ellen's Facebook account or page, whatever you want to call it, has been hacked, and it is gone. There is no more Ellen Jarvis Facebook page. So if you're looking for her, she's not there. It's very stressful. It's very tough. She's got a lot of information on that Facebook account that is no longer there. So she can still get on the Atlanta Barbecue Store page, though, I do believe, maybe. So anyway, so her Facebook is gone. It really sucks. So you're not going to see as much from her on Facebook unless she opens up a new account. So if you see something from Ellen on a new account on Facebook, it is her. She is going to start new. So that sucks. It is what it is. But just wanted y'all to know. Competition week this weekend, Sippin' Swines at Lawrenceville. Rhythm and Ribs is in Tifton. Those are the 2 contests that we will be delivering to this week. So use Lawrenceville and Tifton for your discount codes for delivery to a contest. And there you go. That's all my good information I have. Baseball is starting up really quick for us. So this is a big week for us. We get to go cook barbecue, and then we turn into baseball. So whatever. It's going to be good, though. I can't wait for this weekend. And one of our good friends that we get to see this weekend are coming on tonight to Chew the BBQ Fat with me, and I'm very excited. I know none of y'all care to hear me talk, so I'm going to go ahead and bring them on. What's up? How y'all doing?
Wait, is somebody else coming?
Right, somebody else going to be on here. No, you said good friends.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure who you're talking about.
Whoa. Y'all are good friends. Don't act like that, David.
We are.
The Goins are in the house.
We did tear up when you said Ellen doesn't have her Facebook account anymore. I don't know what to do. I mean, is she going through the 5 stages of grief right now? And
it's really kind of strange that you don't know how addicted you are or how attached you are to something until it is completely 100% taken away from you. And that happened to her.
That's scary.
So, you know, when they tag you on something, don't click on the buttons and find out why you've been
hey, Sean.
restricted or whatever it is that they call. So that didn't happen. So she messed up on that one, but it's all good. So how y'all doing?
We're doing good. How you doing?
I'm having nightmares.
I know.
What are we having nightmares about?
Well, you know, it's our first one since last year, and making sure we don't forget anything. It's a long drive for us to get there and realize that we forgot everything we were supposed to put in the trailer. So
when he says us, he means me.
When Joelle forgets everything
in the trailer.
Right? Yeah, that's her responsibility. But I'm sure that we have good enough friends there that hey, man, I'm out of sauce. You mind if I borrow a little something? Or I'm out of charcoal. You mind if I borrow a little something?
I call that building relationships.
Yeah.
I mean, some people don't like to leave the trailer.
No.
And others of us on the team, which is 2 people, right, are very social. So it's called building relationships.
Some people have to do some work
Can I
around
borrow
there.
some sugar, please?
That's right. I mean, that's the only way you get to meet people is when you forget stuff. You go around asking what's going on. That's the best way to make relationships. I love it, Joel. I'm with you.
100%. Thank you.
We make a lot of relationships in. How about that? Everything from trash bags to paper towels.
There
We
you
need
go.
it at some point. Good God.
That is so
Hey,
true.
Jordan's on. We even bring anti-nausea medicine. So,
Yes.
we're givers too.
Yes.
You got it all. I mean, that's
As much as we forget, we give back.
I just got all these comments in here all of a sudden. That literally they all popped up at once. So, all right. Richard, we'll see you there. Dean, good to see you. Mark, how you doing? Oh, he's talking
Hey,
to you.
Mark.
Sean, what's going on? Yep. Man, look at these guys. This
Sean
awesome.
is my buddy. Hey, Sean.
Golly, Jordan.
Hey, for the record, Joelle was pimping out the show tonight to all of her friends, our barbecue local friends and family around our group, so they get to know what Atlanta Barbecue Store is all about, and they use you as a vehicle for all their barbecue sauces and rub needs.
Isn't that what I'm supposed to do?
Well, I sure do appreciate that. That is awesome. We are the Dollar General of TV of barbecue shows. So you always got to, hopefully you reminded them that
Yes.
you came in on the bottom down here with us. But it's all good. We very much appreciate y'all coming on. And
We're not
do
just
love
here
talking
for our
barbecue.
looks, honey.
Wow.
We
I
do-
am
we
here
love
for my
barbecue.
looks. I am here for my looks. I mean, the best guy in barbecue. What are you talking about?
Yeah, this is the best dressed team in barbecue.
That's right.
mean, it is so awesome. I mean, I met him at the Royal. I was like, that dude is wearing Peter Millar everything. I mean, this is awesome.
We have a very good friends of ours that love us dearly. That all I do is bribe him with barbecue, and he loads me up. I mean, he is fantastic to us.
It is really true.
We love him to death. So,
Lisa, thank you for watching from LA. Y'all got friends in LA. Y'all are jet setters. I mean, I know that about you. Y'all are big time.
Get Alex on.
Who? Alice?
Yeah, Lisa's son Alex. She needs to tell Alex to join. David's giving me a stink eye. Hey, they got to buy barbecue products. So hello.
That's right. But you know what? We're not here talking about Atlanta Barbecue Store. Let's talk about what y'all are doing in the barbecue world right now. What do you think? What's your 2023 look like?
Well, I'll tell you, we started off. We took some advice from one of our fellow barbecue brethren, and Wes Garrett. God love him. Hope he doesn't come on tonight, but he's hounded us about you guys got to do classes. Got to do classes, and lo and behold, we did. Between Joelle, we did 3 different classes this year. We wanted to do the Atlanta Barbecue Store class, but our schedule just didn't permit. Joelle's out of town, but we did a lot of classes this year between last December or whenever we had the first one to now. And I mean, it's one of those things that it's kind of a blessing and a curse because you get so much information and where do you go with it. But, we were at the point last year where some of our pork stuff was just not good. Chicken was a little iffy, ribs weren't hitting. So we need to kind of figure some stuff out. And so, you take everything with a grain of salt, right? You go in there and you do these classes and learn new techniques and learn about tenderness, and taste is subjective, but I think we learned enough information to really feel good about going into this year. We did some practicing after the fact, and I think I feel a little more confident about this season coming up than I have in the past, because I really wasn't planning on doing as many as we are going to actually end up doing this year. But having that confidence about us, I think it makes it a little easier than going, I'm not going to spend $1,000 or $1,500 just for shits and giggles, man. I'm going to actually go out there and win, right? So having this kind of as a backbone to us competing makes it feel a little bit better about it.
So we have talked a lot about on this show, taking classes and learning and getting all the information, right? That's been something that we talk about almost every show. You say it's been a blessing and a curse, right? Why is the curse? I know exactly what you're talking about. I understand exactly what you're talking about with the curse. What has been the biggest obstacle of taking 3 classes in the off season? What has that done to your mindset?
Well, you guess you second guess yourself. Like, what am I really going to? I can't do this guy's recipe and this guy's recipe. I can't do them both. And like our brisket was pretty good last year, so I'm not really looking at changing our brisket. But is there some tip in there that I could use to make it a little bit better? And if you do use it and it's like, okay, it didn't work out. Well, maybe it just didn't work out for that one contest. So I don't really want to overthink it. And I think we went into it because we're so new that we really didn't, we really wanted to have an idea of what is tenderness. I taste our food obviously, but I want to taste what the pros are doing, and when I was at the class, I said, hey, is this your tenderness? Is this what you like? This is what I like. And when I tasted it, I was like, okay, this is this. And I'm not saying it was far off of what we're already doing, but, from a blessing and a curse standpoint, I think it's good to have more barbecue knowledge. But if Robert was to ever get on this show, he would tell you that he's, first and foremost, he's got 1,000 different recipes, and he may go back to one he did 4 years ago, or that a class he attended 4 years ago. It's like, man, that's still hitting. Why did I get away from that? So why are you getting away from something that is working when you don't, you can go to a class, but you don't feel like you have to use the class material to compete?
Yeah. And I think
I was just going to add to that a little bit of what you were saying, the confidence that, okay, are we really screwing up? Are we so far off the mark that, we're going to truly learn something life-changing? And I wouldn't say that we learned anything life-changing, but it's like, okay, we're not off the mark. We're in the right street, and just learning those little things to help tweak it. And like, oh, okay, I didn't think about that or approach it that way. For me, because I do the ribs, like confidence, and I know it's so silly. Someone told me once the ribs are the easiest things to trim, but it gets in my head like maybe I'm screwing them up. Like how just something so stupid simple as trimming them, but am I doing them the right way? Right? Am I trimming the meat so it's the best protein that I put on the smoker, right? So I think for me it was just getting that confidence of like, okay, I'm not in crazy land, right, as much as David would like to believe, but then I think the curse is like David, I think, was alluding to, is like it gets in your head. Like you can let it play with your mind. And I'm like, no, our flavors aren't crazy off. So everybody knows. It's just those little tips and tricks.
Yeah.
I think after now doing it for a couple of years, right? Mm-hmm. It's just, to me, it's like just elevating your cook, right? It's elevating the game. So
you took 3 different classes.
So we'll bomb for sure this weekend.
Yeah. You took 3 different classes this weekend. I don't need to know which classes you took, or not this weekend, this break. Did they all do everything the same, or was it all different?
All was a little bit different.
So, they're all different. I'd say that 2 of them were timelines are pretty similar, but in terms of cooking techniques, very different cooking techniques, very different recipes. I thought the product in each of them was good. I thought one was a little better on one particular meat than the other one. Both of them did Snake River briskets, and I don't cook Snake River briskets, so I was really interested to know how that was. I mean, I bought 2 of them earlier, late last year when they were on sale, just to try them out, and I cooked one. I mean, I've always cooked A9s, and I think I'm still like those. So that's just my preference. But no, I mean, just, timelines, getting more confident with the timelines, because like I said, the temperature stuff, it was,
we went to drum classes.
Yeah. So both of them were drum classes, but the timelines are pretty spot on for both of them. And I was like, okay, that's the other thing too, with us, since we're so new, man, I mean, sometimes we don't put blinders on, and if somebody's lighting drums and, oh my gosh, I swear, can you delete people from comments or from the show at all, Brian?
Wes Garrett is a fan of the show. We love Wes. I know that's who you're talking about, right?
Yeah. Can we block him?
No, but
Anna.
I'm just saying that I mean, we've learned so much in a short amount of time, but we've got to put blinders on at some point because we keep, like, I'll look over there and see somebody lying in their pit 30 minutes or an hour after I do, and I'm like, holy cow, what are they doing? Should I be doing that? You can't second guess yourself, right? You can't, and that's the thing for us, is that so many people are so successful doing different things that, hey, do your own thing. That's one of the best things I've learned, to do your own thing and be successful.
That was what I was kind of getting at, is you took 3 different classes, 3 different processes, 3 different recipes. All of it's good. They're all teaching classes for a reason. So in that, you take your classes and you learn what works for you and the processes that work for you. And you might take a little bit of, like, that's what I've always done when I take classes. The recipe is a recipe. You're never going to be able to duplicate their recipe. I mean, I don't think so, but you can duplicate their processes, and the processes is that's your tenderness factor. That's everything else. So if you're going in there with your mind open of what kind of processes can I learn, then I think you're going to be way better off. And that sounds like that's what y'all got out of the.
It's all the little tips and tricks, man. I was like, wow, that's going to save us time on this. I mean, I was like, wow, that's the easy button. Okay, I'll do that.
Yes, we did, Wes. We took Stump's class.
We did not.
Wes is a very good friend of y'all's. He's a very good friend of ours. Looking forward to seeing Wes this week.
Yes.
I hate it.
Miss Hannah.
I know. Hannah and Alexa. My kids are just devastated that they're not coming, but that's okay. It'll be all right. Well, there'll be another time that they can all get together and hang out. But, it is what it is.
It'll be fun. I mean, we haven't seen anybody since Gadsden, so just to get back at it, which is the nervy thing about it, right? Is you have your routine and our schedule. I mean, we spent this weekend really trying to, making sure we had everything, because we're the people who have things on spreadsheets. I mean, that's why we like Robert and so much, I guess, because we got timelines and it keeps us on focus. But you have all that, but it's still that routine. And we did a few changes to the travel trailer over the winter, took advantage of it to kind of make it a little bit more user friendly for barbecuing, not hauling a side by side, because it is a toy hauler. And I think getting that routine down that first time of the workflow of being in that trailer will be a little kind of googly. But we'll figure it out. I think that's what having a timeline and a very structured approach to it. I mean, you still kind of have to be able to go with whatever's presented to you in the day, but at least having that timeline gives you the backbone and the foundation to at least be consistent in majority of your cook. Then it's just a matter of, silly little things that slow you down, like where's the aluminum foil? It's not here now, it's over here. I mean, it's just goofy things like that, right? That kind of slow. We were just kind of getting a rhythm in the old trailer, in the trailer last year. And we did a pretty significant change to it, which will change our workflow. We were very good at working together in a very tight spot. So we'll see how that all plays out. That's what worries me.
We still yell at each other, though. I mean, I still cuss her out.
Yeah, what happens during turn-in stays during turn-in. So that's Hannah.
Just keep the door shut. Nobody will have a clue what happens in there, right?
Yeah. No.
Bad.
Well, yeah. There's a reason why there's no film crew in our trailer.
The reason there's a king size bed in there, though. I'm sorry, it's a PG show. Hey, if Bill
after hours. Robert's already asleep after hours.
Thank you, Bill. Spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charles. I miss you too. I miss
all these spreadsheets talking here. I've got spreadsheets. I just they're we talk about them. We got them on our phone and everywhere.
Oh.
So I can't wait. So you talk about spreadsheets. You got Robert, who is, he's mad if I don't have an agenda like here. And I don't do agenda. Like I do agendas. I'll do them a lot. But it's so funny. Like I cannot wait. It's going to be so funny between the two of us this week, because he's already he's getting on me. Hey, do you have this? Do you have that? I'm like, yeah, I got it. And he's like, well, he knows me well enough to know that he's either going to hate me after this, which I don't think so, or it's going to be a blast, and I'm hoping for the blast. But
how come you're in the expensive meat categories and he's in the cheap meat?
it's kind of funny that you say that. I don't know. All of a sudden, he's like, I'm doing chicken.
That ain't right.
He's like, I got chicken and you do pork. I was like, all right, sounds good. And then I was like, well, we cook the same brisket. So Robert and I did the same thing for brisket. I was like, I'll just take brisket and you can help me with that. And he's like, oh, yeah. You do brisket. I got ribs. And so it just ended up being that way. I don't know. But you know what?
Like Robert was saving his good briskets for another day.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's already on me like, are you sure? Like he wanted to cook 3 briskets. I was like, dude, we're not cooking 3 briskets. Like we got 2 briskets. So I'm trying to make sure that I do everything I can to make sure that I got a lot of pressure on me here. I'm cooking with Robert and Lex.
I wouldn't do it if I were you. You're a better man than most. There's a lot of people I'd cook with, but I don't know about that guy. Woo, that'd be a tough one there.
But you don't, Robert's, great friend. Love the guy to death.
Oh.
It's going to be so much fun that, I just hope that, he wins. I don't. So it's going to be like, he's going to have to put up.
I agree with what Wes said. Wes, there's no doubt. I'm not betting against that. There's no way.
Sorry.
There's no way.
You guys are cracking me up.
He's already like, so you want me to make all the injections and everything? So like, go for it, buddy. Go for it. Yeah. It's all good. We're on. He's gonna be there to make sure that I don't screw anything up or do it the way that it's supposed to be done. And then we've got
I want a camera in the trailer. I think
we need a GoPro,
and that should be the Chewin the Fat.
No,
Sipping Swine
is
the audio and video from you and Robert cooking together.
I think I'll do this the My Silly Life thing that they do, right? They need somebody doing the Silly Life thing.
Somebody needs to be doing that.
We have talked about trying to do and I talk about this all the time, but I really am trying to do a Chewin the BBQ Fat Friday night because we're going to have everybody there. Everybody, all of our, it's going to be, we're going to have a lot of people there. It's going to be a blast. So you never know. Who knows what's going to happen? We talk about it all the time. Never really pans out, but we'll see what happens. That's going to be something that he claims that he'll do. So we'll see.
That's going to be great.
I will tell you, I want to go back to timelines for just a minute. And I like Paul's comment, control charts. It really does kind of like keeps you in your lane, right? And when we're cooking and David is like, oh crap, I forgot such and such. Not, mind you, it wasn't something he forgot to put in the trailer. He just forgot to do something in the cook. And my first response is always, well, was it not on the spreadsheet? There's a reason why we have it printed in the trailer. He's like, no.
I make it up sometimes. I'm like,
I came home yesterday and he had organized the spices way more than I had, and just our stuff that needs to go in the trailer. He had the spreadsheet for the stuff, the inventory on the freezer beside it. I'm like, okay, we're getting somewhere, but it's like, yes, you forgot to do it. It's written down. Yeah, Carrie, that's a spreadsheet.
I'm with you, Carrie.
And it's funny you say that. Carrie, back to Carrie's comment is like,
we don't cook enough to get a good enough repetition like week after week. A guy like Brad or Carrie,
Chris, we did
85.
Full disclosure, we did Chris's class. Like he could.
He rattled off.
He rattled off from light the first, literally sitting there in front of us, from lighting the first fire till the last turn in. Like rattled off each minute. We don't have that muscle memory, right? It's not in our head. And I think there's a lot of people out there, the high-end competitors, and a lot of them are on this call right now. Like it's just muscle memory, right? We're not there yet. So we're beholden to our spreadsheet.
Richard, he's a dry erase board. That's what we've tried to do. Ellen loves that. She loves having me organized and everything else. I have everything in my head that I'm like, oh, this is the easy way to do it. That's right. I put 80 of them in 2 years.
Yes, Bill, that's exactly it. Just Mark, we know what you do. You show up 2 hours late and you still get a call. So
you get a call and a phone call.
We're not that good.
Oh, this is awesome.
We just got lucky.
And Wes Garrett, he did say that y'all are two of the up and coming cooks in this, and I could not agree more. Y'all, and I think what it is, yeah, he is a big time star.
Hey, Scotty, what about
me? What did you get into, Dave?
David's not cooking in there alone.
Thank you, Scotty. Thank you, Scotty.
The women are in there cooking too.
What was Wes talking about? What makes you in the Hall of Fame that he was talking about that you wanted to?
No clue. I'm not a Hall of Fame guy. I mean, man, I'm just
my God, y'all are cracking me up.
Just a joker.
What is the CTBBQF?
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I don't know what the acronym is for that. I tell you what, I feel like I should be in the Hall of Fame after all the money we've spent in the last 3 years. It's ridiculous, man. And then we bought this RV, then I bought a new truck, and now Joelle's looking at getting something like Bill has, a fifth wheel with side porch and satellite, and gosh, I mean, we're not moving up that fast. But we've
the barbecue fat.
We've absolutely to the barbecue fat Hall of Fame. Okay, thanks.
Justin, your digital clock goes off night. David's phone is going off. If you walk by our trailer in the mornings, it's going off like every 15 to 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. I dream about that. It reminds me of years ago when I first graduated nursing school and I was working night shift in the hospital and the IV pumps would go off. I would go to home and sleep and wake up hearing those pumps. I wake up hearing David's phone go off. That's my nightmares.
It is terrible. It is terrible. But no, I mean, we're just trying to figure it out the best way, the best. I mean, this is the worst commenting group I've ever seen in my entire life here. Holy cow.
Scott, you're referring to me, right?
I'm with you, Brian Payton, though. Wait, we're supposed to have timelines. The timeline is you turn chicken in at 12.
12:30. Hey, but for the record,
12:30-ish.
For the record, and everybody else on this call on this show knows that from 12 o'clock to 1:30, that's when you screw some shit up, right? That's when you can have a great cook for the last 6, 7, 8 hours, but all of a sudden 12 o'clock you're going to ruin a lot of meat.
Yeah, for sure. Everything's good up until then. It's like it's fine, and then you're. Bill's got a hot tub and it's a water bed and a hot tub.
Wow.
Whenever we have friends that come that really don't understand, which, we were those people at one time, because I remember busting in on Hannah and Wes on Friday night in Marion. Mm-hmm. We had just met them. So we were like, oh, yeah, we'll come to Marion, not realizing, Hannah, which we're similar, like, I'm doing drinks. I'm like, great. I'm going to do turn in. I'm like, I'm with you. Well, now knowing Wes, like he's in the throes of prep stuff, right? We now know what Friday night means, but it's just like I tell our friends that show up turn in time. I said, we're not going to talk to you between 11:30 and 1:30. Just be prepared. Stand outside the trailer. I'll give you leftovers, but don't. And
it never fails, right? That's when everybody shows up to if you go to a festival, a big festival, like I've got friends wanting to come see me this. I'm like, that's fine, but just understand that I'm not available, and generally Ellen or somebody will be there, and they'll be like, he can't talk right now. I'll come back in a little bit, because you feel like a jerk, right? You're like, hey, can't talk, got to go and shut the door on them. I don't know.
Yeah, you just prep them and say, we'll have it at South Haven. My family from Ohio will come in. They all pile up in the house. I'm like, y'all are here, stay, but Uber to the place. You're on your own. Come and go, but
I say go get a corn dog at the fair.
We're not going to be socializing. Of course, but are we going to have a crawfish boil on Sunday?
Here's a White Claw and a corn dog. Have a good time.
And they're happy. They don't care. They just want to hang.
From Ohio, we expect.
But I say all that honestly to go back to, because we are new. We're going to use new until somebody tells we can't use it anymore. But of what we used to do, like just going back 2 years, it's just incredible how much we've learned. And we watched, I don't know if anybody on the call has seen it, the 2006 Royal on YouTube.
It was awesome.
And there's a local guy, Fat Larry, who's since passed away, that was on there, who I've eaten at his restaurant many times when I worked up in Bartlett. But like just watching barbecue then, like if you could just go in a time machine and go back then and present what you're turning in now compared to what was being turned in there.
It makes you feel great about what you're doing now. I'm
telling
my
you. Stuff doesn't look so bad.
Holy cow, man. Some of that presentation boxes, like, that's iceberg lettuce, just a big old thing of iceberg lettuce. Awesome. I mean, chicken skin half hanging on. It's like, wow, this looks great. A dude turned in a full spare rib. I mean, it was this long. Like, holy cow, man.
I mean, I'm just not saying that still doesn't happen, but in this day and age, there's so much content available, right? For you to come.
We hosted a contest, right? And we were able to see the food that came in. And it all looks pretty good. Yeah. Kenneth, thank you so much for being our, we've got a bouncer at Chewin the BBQ Fat site. It's going to be awesome. And then I think what everybody wants to know is, Dave, what is your go-to hair product?
I knew it was coming. Let's, for the record here, let's put this out here. I saw that Charles Beard said something about my beard and the fact that Wes Garrett has now got a beard. The difference in my beard and Wes Garrett is I don't color mine. Mine's all natural, and I think he colors his because it's not quite right. I think the carpets don't match the drapes or something. I'm sure this is not natural for him. So. But yes, this would be a mixture of different products. It's some
and hairspray.
I'm a Dapper Dan man. I'll be nice about that. I'm just kidding. No, it's a product. It's definitely stiff in there, but it's all natural.
He spends more time on his hair than I do now.
Brian, I have hair.
I know. I'm jealous. I am 100% jealous.
You have a very nice beard, though.
He does have a nice beard.
You have a nice beard.
You do, Brian. You do.
Mine's great. See, I need to be like y'all or Wes.
Have you seen his?
Sure. I'm gray.
Pretty gray.
I got gray beard. I'm very gray.
Looks good though. Looks good. Wes Garrett beard is a glue worm. Changes colors. Ask David about the push button. Just ask. We'll leave that.
That sounds like.
Oh, that's dumb. Next, we're moving right along.
And next subject.
All right, so moving right along back into barbecue. Y'all are coming to Sip and Swine. Yes. I cannot wait. It's going to be a blast. What are y'all looking forward to the most? Cooking at Sip and Swine.
It's funny you say. I actually printed out the team list, and it's seen like teams. I mean, there's a lot of teams that we've never seen before in that part of the world. We've never cooked in Georgia at all, so a lot of new teams for us to meet and see. But obviously seeing all the folks that we haven't seen for the last 4 or 5 months now, and we haven't seen you guys live for quite some time. So just getting back with that whole barbecue family, the whole kith and kin people, our friends and family. So that's what it's all about, for us, is to get back to seeing these guys and hopefully kicking people's butt and doing well. I mean, we always want to start out good in the beginning of the year, but man,
that worries me more than anything.
But I will say,
flat on my face.
I know.
Which wouldn't be the first time, but it's
think about the pressure I'm under.
Yeah.
All I can do is bring Robert down. I mean, that's all there is to it.
It'll be your fault no matter what happens.
No matter. It's going to be awesome.
Robert won't let that happen.
It's true. He's true.
Lex won't let that happen.
That's even more true. Which, by the way, I talked to Lex about let's doing a girly team. We're going to do a girls team. You've inspired us. We don't know when or where. We're going to get Shannon with Uncle Phil's and do a girls cook. Oh, so we need Hannah to be our box runner.
Make sure you get Ellen in there somehow, some way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to do a girls team. We're going to be.
It'll be a nightmare.
We're going to be
a big shit show.
I think we're going to be the hen house.
The hen house.
I think that would be great. So don't anybody steal it. Lex and I will come and take over. Yes, Hannah. Thank you. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So
margarita. Yeah.
What is your next? You said you're cooking more than you expected. What's your schedule look like?
We're doing Lebanon. After that, and then the Collierville contest moved to Marion, Arkansas, which is not far from us either. So we're going to do that one after that. Kind of the usual suspects for us. We're fortunate to have a lot of contests near us. So we don't, we're doing Millington this year, Covington, South Haven, going down to Brandon, Mississippi.
I want to remind the audience that this is from a man who last year said we can't go more than 2 hours.
I know.
And so that was very self-limiting right there. And now he's like, oh, we got lots of contests, super close. Yeah, not really.
And we heard that we get back in the Royal this year, so we're going to go back to the Royal this year.
Yeah.
We talked about doing some stuff a little further up towards St. Louis. It may still do it because we've never cooked up that way either, so we may go up that way a little bit. But a
couple in Missouri.
Yeah, some over in Missouri, Arkansas, doing Pine Bluff again. That's a good contest. We may not do Pussyq.
2 hours.
Because Pussyq is right after the Royal, so
yeah, that's kind of a bummer.
Kind of a bummer.
It's far for us. It's far for us, regardless. Montgomery is far.
So we'll see.
I don't understand that one, but whatever. I hope maybe there's some good thought behind it that makes it work. But I think Jimmy. Y'all know Jimmy. He's like, we can just throw the cans in the back of the truck, put a pop-up, and get a hotel and cook that way. Because I was like, man, we're going to be exhausted. There's no way we're going to be able to come back from the Royal and go cook. I'm not that good. Like, I'm not like Bill and 2 hours LOL, right? Like, that's big for me. Going across the country and coming back, that's a lot of work for me.
That's a lot.
Brian did 13 hours yesterday. Well, you know, Bill, not everybody can go down to Houston and be a hobnobber like you.
Yes.
But I guess I did a bad job. Where are y'all from? Tell a little bit about where you're from. I did not do a good job at all of introducing y'all. I apologize. Yeah, y'all are from.
We assumed everybody knew us.
I know. You don't know us? Hello.
My bad.
Nobody's.
So we're out of the Memphis area, right? We're in Collierville, Tennessee, just suburbs of Memphis. We're not from. I'm not from here. I'm from Knoxville. Joel's from a town about an hour and a half outside of Memphis area. So we don't really claim Memphis as our home because it's not really home. But we're here and we're kind of in the barbecue mecca, if you would, for the Memphis folks. Some people, they think this is where barbecue is born. I don't know. I have no really opinion on that. I don't care. Barbecue to me. But
it's so different.
We like it. It's a really good location, and we already talked about if we ever did move back to Knoxville, what that would look like for us from a competition standpoint, where we'd go, and we would have to go to all the different contests we have to go see. So, but that's where we are, and we. As a follow-up to introduction, this is our third year doing this, third full year doing this. So KCBS. Now we did MBN, and it's interesting. A lot of people ask, "Are you doing Memphis in May this year?" I'm like, no, we've done it. We did 3 years in a row on the patio side, and we enjoyed it, but it's just too much of a dog and pony show. Even just the regular local competitions are too much of a dog and pony show that we just didn't. It was putting a good vibe for us.
Well, speaking of Memphis in May, what's going on with this? Like, I know it's happening. I know they're cutting back. I know you can only get in if you were a top 10 category. You got to call in top 10 or a winner of some sort. What's happening? What is the thought in the Memphis area about Memphis in May?
I think most people I think most people in Memphis are kind of our friends that we have in the Memphis area, right, that have been doing it for years, that have been legacy teams. For those who have not ever been, I mean, the Royal is a ginormous party. I will give them that. I mean, it makes Memphis look like small potatoes from the sheer size of the party on Friday night. Mm-hmm. But Memphis in May is a party Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Friday night. And so it's an insane amount of work. So you have your serious teams, obviously, right? I mean, the best in the country come in there to compete. But most of the teams are there to have a big party. And the local teams are, obviously upset, right? I don't even know that they found out because we haven't heard from them. Like, they're going to find out at the end of this week if they're even in. We're talking teams have been doing it since inception. And I want to say for me, it's not a Memphis in May thing because Memphis in May is its own corporation. It's not a City of Memphis thing. And, they do a lot of whole Memphis in May festival, a music fest, the barbecue festival, a big half marathon, racing weekend, foot race. So the city of Memphis is the one who's kind of mucked it up because they decided to make this park, fancier and nicer than it is. So it is limiting, and it's 150 teams. Mm-hmm. I know a week or two beforehand they weren't even sold out, but I think they actually got more than 150 applications.
Which is crazy because they'd have 150 rib teams.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of teams that are used to going down there, and even though they may not be corporate, our friends that got us into barbecue, that we met Wes and Hannah through. I mean, Stephanie and David, Wes and Hannah, you remember them. They're not doing it this year, but I doubt that they're a classic rib team. They probably wouldn't be able to get in.
No, it's funny to say that because
insane.
I talked to Wayne Lohman. It's been months ago or a month or so ago, and he asked me what I thought about if there was a one meat rib challenge that same Saturday.
Yeah, it's like
in downtown Memphis. And sure enough, there's going to be a KCBS sanctioned one meat rib event on the same Saturday as Memphis in May, down at Handy Park, which is downtown Memphis off Beale Street. It's going to be, they call it a patio porker division, so I think anybody can do it, but it's not, it was $1,500, I think it's to the winner. But it's going to be,
unfortunately, it's the same weekend as Covington,
Union City
for the locals.
But it kind of goes to show that, you're going to weed yourself out of some really good cooks. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody from KCBS, I mean, Union City isn't far. They're doing that same weekend, doing a double up there in Obion County, which is maybe 2 hours away from Memphis. But I wouldn't be surprised if somebody could come in here and they were to say, hey, we're going to do a KCBS event the same weekend in Memphis and really just destroy all Memphis in May has even built and grown. Because like Joelle said, there's so many teams there that are party teams that kind of haphazardly want to cook and corporate event stuff. But you have the Myron Mixons and the Blues Hog guys and the some really good professional teams that really want to compete. The Heath Rouse guys that want to do well and win the thing. But I say 85% of them just go there for the drinking and the partying and the doing whatever, So
it's kind of sad. Myron he's not even cooking it this year because they changed the date.
Weird. Yeah. I can't believe that. I mean,
there just seems to, haven't participated in it in a few years. Like they're just, and now having done KCBS events. I mean, Memphis in May is not an MBN event anymore. It's a Memphis in May event. I mean, it used to be an MBM event. And there's just seems to be like they're missing something, right? They can make it so much more than what it is. I think what's really hurt them though is the city of Memphis coming in and deciding to do what they did, right? And
I heard they got a contractor. They contracted the city out, and the not the city. They contracted the
planning
park,
for the walk.
Yeah, and all that. So then they came in and they've done all kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah, Wes has posted that he heard that it's officially on hold. I have not heard that. I messaged our friend that's.
I talked to Paul with Willingham's, Paul Holden with Willingham's, and he said it's on. It's just they're not. It's not the same.
I mean, like you said, 150 total teams. There used to be 150 rib teams.
At least 150 rib teams.
Yeah.
Right.
And what's really, David and I were talking about it over the weekend. Like, I mean, it is a money maker. It generates a lot of money for the city of Memphis. And you think you're cutting the amount of teams there that are coming by half, that aren't doing hotel rooms, or they're not paying the additional fees that you have to pay the city of the Memphis, the land renovation, the liability insurance fee. I mean, all the stupid fees you pay. I mean, all in just to cook on patio porkers. Without meat, you're like looking at $5,000 to compete there.
Just the patio
just
side,
to have the pleasure of competing.
Right. Yeah.
So you think, and more than half of that's probably going back to the city of Memphis. I'd have to go back and look at my notes. I mean, they're losing millions. It's just very short-sighted on the city of Memphis. So that's my soapbox.
And I hate that. I hate because it's, I feel like barbecue has some majors, right? Like they have a lot of big contests. And,
yes.
And I felt like Pusaki was on pace of being one of those with their $75,000 payout or whatever it is. And now they've moved it to now we got the Royal, Pusaki, and I believe the Jack is the next weekend.
Yeah.
So I think it's like 3 in a row, like 3 of the big ones in a row. And when is that one in Oklahoma, at the casino that was such a big, it's a big payout also.
There's one at Pine Bluff in Arkansas.
That's what
maybe
they this year too.
Maybe that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's close to the same time frame. And then, the KCBS Invitational is 3 weeks, 4 weeks after the Jazz. I mean, it's like everything big is happening at one time. I wish we could find a way to, and then the biggest of all of them, the Atlanta Barbecue Store Classic, is right there in November also. So something has to happen in my opinion, we've got to get more, spread out some of these big events to.
Well, I think that's what surprised me, that BBQ came out. I don't know. Forgive me for my ignorance. I don't know that it was before KCBS or that the Royal had announced their dates. I'm not sure.
Oh, they came out last year. As soon as that was over last year, they said they're doing it that weekend in October.
I mean, I don't know. I'm new, but I'm just saying you got to kind of check the big things. There'll be people that will go to all 3 in a row, right? But like David and I, it's like we've talked about this, like it, and there's a lot of people on the line, I know it, that compete, that work full-time jobs, right? Okay, where am I going to use my vacation time, right? For both of us, it's like, okay, we're coming back on Monday because we want to do the Royal. I mean, it's a fabulous opportunity. I'll take advantage while I can until we win that next GC and I have the privilege of going back again, which hopefully will be this weekend. But let's go, because it was such a fabulous opportunity. I'd rather do that than, yes, as Carrie said, like cry in my beer on the way home from BBQ, because it is insane. It is a little, but you got to your point, Brian, you got to kind of have to spread them out a little bit, right?
Yeah. Look, I'm just glad there's stuff going on and everything else, right?
Yes.
But it just seems like like we could all get together and be like, hey, let's make this work out. But that's just me.
And I think I like seeing like Mark's doing, the
rest of
the thank you, down in Brandon, like
Hog
getting
Wild.
those Hog Wild, like getting those purses up there, that kind of makes it, especially for us, and I'm sure other people on the call, like, okay, not that you go into it with the confidence that you're going to win, right? Like I win a little bit of money, at least pay for my diesel, right? To get back home is like, you're willing to go out a little bit further, right?
Right.
You got a nice purse that brings you in too.
Yeah, you're not. I mean, only so many people win money, but you do hope to win a little bit of money, gas money, or something like that.
Yeah, something.
David is doing a great job. So you just leave him alone.
I can't.
He's been talking the whole time.
Man, I can't get a hold of her.
I'll shut up.
I mean, this is why Joel's in charge of ribs. For the record, Joel's in charge of ribs for our team. Joel got us into this thing on ribs. So if anybody ever questions if Joel cooks, she's got to cook. And I got to watch her. I mean, I got to monitor what she's doing, kind of like Robert's going to do with you this weekend. But yeah, no. But Joel's in charge of ribs, man. It's her thing. So yeah, for me to get a word in edgewise with her, real.
So what do y'all cook on?
Drums. We drum it. We've done it. Started with an offset, offset, and then backwoods, and then Traegers, and we're on drums now. I like it.
We went with them because of the
trailer,
right?
We went because the trailer, it fits the trailer well, and two, I enjoy sleeping, so it makes it nice to get a little bit of rest, and I need my beauty rest. Look at me.
I gave him all the gray hair on his head. Don't you forget it.
Mm-hmm.
Ellen made me lose all mine, so it's all good.
There's always something to aspire to.
You still got your hair.
I love
it. That's
no,
awesome.
we did. We went to drums because we had a little box trailer. We bought it the year of COVID and outfitted it. Charles Beard bought it from us. Yay! It's award winning for them too. So we passed off our good luck on to them apparently. But we were like struggling with what we're going to put in that trailer, right? Like that's not super heavy because we were pulling it between the.
That's why I ended up with drums. I had a Jambo, and I was like, man, I'm not going to drive this. I'm not going to pull this thing up and down the door, and so.
And then
I love the Jambo.
learning how to cook on them, right?
Yeah, I mean, and the cans are so easy. I mean, And if anybody's looking for cans, I'll have 2 available for sale. One's already sold. I'll have 2 more available. So if anybody's looking, let me know.
Slightly used.
Yep, used once. Yep, it's crazy. It's a great opportunity if you ever need one. So, well, good. Is there anything else that y'all think people should know about Kith and Kin?
I mean,
hopefully by now most people know what it means.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Joelle's not Kith and I'm not Kin. That's the big thing about our name. It's like, come on, man, that's not our name, It's so tough.
Yes.
But we,
people would hit their head on it.
We're always learning, I guess. We're always trying to figure it out like anybody else. And we like having a good time. We like, seeing people and meeting people. I mean,
I do. I don't know about David.
Joelle, what's it going to take for you to get David out of the trailer this weekend?
I have some windows of opportunity. I mean, there's a time between like 8 and 9. I'm good.
Okay.
I do cook outside, so if you want to come by and say hello, I'll walk around and see people.
He needs to take some lessons from Mayor Wes.
Yeah, now Wes works. He's a social
he knows how to work the room.
Yeah, but he's.
Wes does not leave his trailer now. Wes does not get out very often.
He
does. You're right. You're right. Wes doesn't get out. I think he locks the door now because some people come in there and he's just annoying him now. He's getting to be that old crotchety guy, where he doesn't want people getting messing. They take their shoes in there and they kind of mess the floor up a little bit. And
last time he told us to take our shoes off when we went in the trailer.
That's true. If there's anybody that's ever more superstitious, that's the other thing about barbecue. Is it's the most superstitious, ridiculous hobby known to man.
And you're a golfer.
Yes, and I have my superstitions worse than anybody. But Wes Garrett, holy cannolis, man, that guy.
You can find him at awards, stand next to him at awards. I'll never forget that. He's like, you cannot get near me at awards. I was like, don't tell me that.
I mean, don't tell you. He went up to Ben from Q-Bones and touched his Kansas City Chiefs shirt. And pretty much ruined Ben for the next 6 months. It's like he zapped him of all of his strength. It was like kryptonite. Wes was touching people. Like, oh my gosh, it was terrible. Felt bad for him. Felt bad for Ben.
And this has now turned into a beat up on Wes.
No. We all love Wes. Wes is a good dude.
We do. He's a good dude.
No, I think for David to get out, I think like get the room, right? Work the room. I think you're gonna learn stuff.
We do. You're right. And it's funny because now we've gotten to know Robert more and you guys more. You're not that anybody's ever close to the vest about what they do, but they're willing to help you out on some things. If you genuinely need help with something, they're willing to help you out, whether it be you forgot something or a tip here and there. I mean, it's kind of nice to not be on an island all by yourself. In the barbecue world,
we talk about that, right? People like help a brother out, And it is, I say it, people probably think I'm being silly, but that's why we picked the name Kith and Kin, and we like it for various, but it is friends and family.
Right.
And that's what you become. And that's what you asked early on what we're going to look forward to. And it really is seeing everybody. Mm-hmm. Like people being in Florida in January was killing me. One, just to be competitive, you want to be out there doing stuff, but one, just seeing everybody.
And Joelle wants them to see her too. Because she's, she wants to make sure that the people know that Joelle's around. So, when Carrie's there or Scott or whoever, or Charles is around, say, hey, Joelle's here.
Anna,
Joelle's
Dawn,
here. Have the party. Anybody that's around, Joelle wants to be live for the party. Just book it, Dan.
And she is. And you are.
Guys and that.
No, I can't wait. We're going to have a blast. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be a lot of fun. Chewin the BBQ Fat it's going to be awesome. I like people, love people to come around. Robert's like, get them out of here. No, I'm just kidding. Robert loves people too. So it's going to be a great time having everybody in and I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm looking forward to I'm the same as you. Like what I've been looking forward to the most is seeing everybody.
Thank you, Scott.
My expectations for this weekend are I hope we do well, but I don't if we don't, it's going to be fun just seeing everybody and having a good time hanging out with Robert and Lex and just doing the best we can. Yeah. It's going to be great.
Yeah, but you got 30-minute drive home. We have 6 hours to stew on how we did. So
there is that too. there is that. Well, I will be going to baseball on Sunday, so I won't have time to. We'll just be moving around. But it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. It will be fun. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. I really am.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we won't fight too much. We really don't.
Nah.
I feel like maybe a lot of people on the call, you just want to get the dust off. Like, I just need to get this first one done. So I'm glad it's in Georgia.
Well, we love Georgia's
Georgia.
Georgia's a great place. A lot of good teams here in Georgia that nobody, like, people don't necessarily give us much credit, but there's a lot of good teams here. It's not rare, it's still a good place. But anyway, well, I appreciate it. I know it's we've y'all been on all night. I do appreciate it. How can people get in touch with y'all if they want to?
Like a phone number? Or?
We are on Facebook and Instagram.
Social media.
Kith and Ken Competition Barbecue.
Kith and Ken Barbecue. Barbecue. We're there.
Because Kith and Ken was taken, believe it or not. But yep.
So what was that? I missed it.
Kith and Ken Competition Barbecue.
Kith and Ken Competition Barbecue.
Not Keith and Kim, but Kith and Ken.
I take it that's a common thing.
Oh, very much so. Well, I mean, I don't, when they start pronouncing your name right, when they call out awards, you're like, okay, maybe I'm getting somewhere.
That's right.
Yeah. So, but yes, thank you. We've enjoyed it. Thank you for having us on. Hopefully we weren't too boring for everybody.
No, y'all are awesome. And so far my internet didn't go out and y'all didn't have to do it by yourselves tonight. That's great.
Well, we could.
Yeah, I know. I knew that's, I knew. I was like, you know what? They can handle it by themselves. I don't even have to be on there.
We don't want to, though. We look forward to seeing you probably Friday.
I can't wait.
And like Thursday.
Sounds good. Everybody, hope you have a wonderful night. We will see you all next week. And if you do go to Sip and Swine, come by and see all of us. We're going to have a great time. But we'll see you next week on Chewin the BBQ Fat.
Good night.